All right, welcome back to this tutorial series where we are building a React and Django app with all of the basic functionalities that I'd expect from most applications I'm building. In the last video, we spent some time finishing up our first quantity filter on the table. We are now sending the value we want to filter by, how we want to filter it, and the value, like what field it is, to the backend. And then we just need to do something with it. So that's what we're going to do this video. So just to reiterate, if we refresh and we go to our amount and we say only get schools where the amount is greater than 3, we can apply that. And if I open this window, if we go to the network tab, we can see we are sending an amount greater than or equal to 3 to the backend, and now we just need to do something with this. So amount doesn't really mean something, but I'm actually going to make this student. So each school is going to need a number of students. In order to do that, we are going to add a new foreign key students, and we are going to populate it for a few of our schools. So let's dive into the backend code. Close all this. Go to users, go to models. Actually, go to example, go to models. We have the example app for just a few models to get some front-end functionality working, and then the users app is going to have things that the final product boilerplate is going to use. So an example, we go to models and let's create a student model. And to start, our students are just going to have a name, really simple, and a school that they belong to, which is a foreign key. That refers to school. If a school is deleted, then the students are also going to get deleted, so cascade. Related name, if we have a school and we want to get the students from it, the related name is going to be students. Perfect. And then we'll just define a string method, really simple. Return the name, and maybe, no, that's fine, self.name. Okay. So now in order to get that field created in the database, go back to your terminal, Python manager, make migrations. This creates a file which records the change to the database, and then migrate actually runs in our database. So now we have a student table. So we can restart our server. And let's add our student model to the admin panel so that we can see it. So admin site register student. And then if we go here, go to admin panel, I have no idea what my superuser is. So if you also forgot what yours is, to create a new superuser is my Python manager if I create superuser, no spaces. Sure, username is going to be that. Email address is going to be, just doesn't really matter, at test.com. Put in a password. Superuser created. And now we can log in here. So we've got students here. If we add a student, we have to give them a name. The student's name is going to be Bob, and they go to Valley Middle School. And maybe another one. Jim goes to a high school, and Beth goes to Valley Middle School. So we have one school with 2 students and one school with 1 student. Now, when we make a request to get schools, we need a way to say, hey, a filter was just passed in, now get me only the schools with a certain number of students. To do that, let's take a quick look at the Django REST framework documentation. They have a plugin here where you can pass in kind of the properties that are filtering by. Actually, maybe it's easier to search like this. filter field, install Django filter. Is this one of the ones that's, yeah, it's this one here, okay. So stop that, pip install Django filter, awesome. Already satisfied, I guess we installed that earlier. All right, go back to our front end. We have to add Django filters to our installed apps, which is in our settings. Just look for installed apps. Put that there. And then let's also set it as our default filter backend. So what this does is by default, this class gets added to all of our endpoints. I think, is it all of our endpoints? I believe it is, but at least the ones we're using right now. You can see here, or you could add it per view. So now we can just add filter set fields. So if we go to our school endpoint, we can add a property to this this view set, filter set fields. We already have the filter backing because we just set it, and it's going to be the number of students, which is like a foreign key. So this isn't actually a field. So we need to figure out how to use it for foreign keys. All right, I'm kind of curious. I wonder if we can just sort of assume this functionality works, and let's see if it does. Students is the related name from school to students. So it might do the aggregation for us. I'm hopeful here, but we'll see. So to test this, first we need our table, school table. When it sends that filter back, the name of this has to be students. And amount filter comes from here. I wonder if I can just do like name to lowercase here. That's like a cheeky way of doing it for now. We'll probably have to change it because your name might be different from your field. But let's do a quick refresh. And let's see that this is sending the right data. So if you go students is less than 4, let's say, a request is made, students less than or equal to 4. If we change this to 1, okay, the request is still being made. It's making it to the backend. We're getting to 200. So this in the backend just doesn't like auto magically work, which is kind of expected, but figured we'd give it a try. All right, welcome back. I've sort of stopped recording for a bit just to do a little bit of research, and I've got a filter working, so I'm just going to walk through what I've found and what I've done. I do like this format where when I get stuck, instead of sort of like Googling in front of you, I stop, do some research, and come back with a solution. Let me know if you want me to just quietly research in front of you, then with the chapter, so you can skip it if you need to. I can do that as well, but this felt pretty good. It's like a low pressure way for me to research and then come up with a good solution. But anyway, let's get into it. So this is working the same. You select what you want in this dropdown, you click apply. That same filter string is being sent. So if we go look at the network tab and do that again, you can see it's students underscore underscore less than or equal to. That's the symbol for less than or equal to. In the back end, what I've done is we started that filter set class for schools. And in order to do an aggregation being where we're going to count the number of fields on something else. So like we're counting the number of foreign key records as a number of students related to the school. I think the only way to do it is with a method. So we have a number filter where we know a number is going to be the value, and we have a method that is going to be used to do the filter, and the name of the field is students. And what I've done is you have to create 3 separate ones for like greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, and exact, and we'll have one for in between as well. But I've made the methods that actually do the work reusable, so we can use them for any other quantity field in the future. But essentially, here we have a method for whenever we get a greater than or equal to filter. QS is the query set, so the data name is the name of the field, so that would be what you pass in here, students. And then value is what it is, like 1, 2, 3. So we're saying count the number of name, which is students, so count the number of students on schools, and then filter by the number of students greater than or equal to the value passed in. And then, yeah, we just define the 3 V's here, and now we have those available, and they just need to match. Like, this is what our parameter in the URL looks like, and these need to match. And then just calling these methods, querying the data, and returning what we want. In the view set, we're taking that filter and we're saying this is the filter set class. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This seems like a pretty good way of doing it. I mean, most of your filters you'll be able to do like this. These field names, they can be pretty complex. Like you can, they're pretty, yeah, they can get pretty complex. We'll see if we run into issues, and if we do, we'll tackle them. Hopefully we don't through this whole tutorial series, but yeah, that's what we've got to. I'll sort of pause it here so you can look at this code. This is in the filters folder in the back end. This is us creating our school filter. We'll move these reusable methods somewhere else at some point. And then if we go to the view, all we're doing is saying use that school filter for the view set, which is where we define everything for our school URLs. And that's it. I think I'm going to call the video here because I've been doing a lot of research and it took a while to arrive at this. But read over this code, see if you understand it, try and get it working, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions. In the next video, we'll finish up the in-between filter. As you can see, we have is between as well, which we'll need 2 numbers for. And then we'll get into a drop-down. So like we'll be able to select what district the schools are in or what category they are. We'll do a single select and a multi-select eventually. And then finally, we'll do a search string filter, I think. So like if you're searching for the name of the school, and then we'll have 4 types of filters, and we'll be done with filters for tables for now. So stay tuned, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.